Hey guys, this is Emmanuel out here in Las Vegas, your emotion code practitioner for Coding Alternative. Just want to make a really quick video for those of you who have some sort of misconception about the emotion code. I feel like there's a lot of people throwing out opinions, different ideas about what it could be. And basically the reality is that ignorance is real. You know, it's something that people like to speak very quickly before reading a book. People like to speak very quickly before taking that seminar. And so I think it's very important to scrutinize anything you're looking into. But I just want to put it out in the clear. There's certain misconceptions about the emotion code. And hopefully this aids you, those who are a truth seeker, those who are open to a new, higher form of living, that you'll really look into this. First of all, I think the main way, even beyond the 5 things I'm going to tell you about the misconceptions, I'm going to tell you 5 misconceptions and 5 truths about the emotion code. But if you haven't read it, I would definitely read the emotion code. I know this is looking backwards here, but The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. Take a look at this book. This book changed my life. I read it back in July 4th, 2016. And something also very powerful too is that my father is actually reading this book. I think he's around page 280. He read that in about a week, and he's a doctor, an oncologist out there in California, in Linwood area. And he's been in his own practice for about 30 years. And he said he believes that this is the future of medicine. And so, again, this isn't just some random young son of a doctor, but this is actually a doctor who's been, definitely graduated from UCLA Medical School, exactly like my mother. My mother was also open to energy healing before she passed away in 2011. But this here is the fact that it was verified with my father, who's a very big skeptic, but I was able to help him out with some upper back pain. I was helping him with this thing called the heart wall. He's been noticing big differences between communication with him and his son, him and his wife. And so it's he's definitely noticing, like, it is an experience to actually go through the emotion code. And so what are some misconceptions? Let's start off with number 1. Number 1 is, and if you're taking notes, is happy pill. Okay, so the emotion code is not a happy pill. And what I mean by that is that if I remove these energies from my body, then I'm going to be happy all the time. And it's like, I'm never going to be sad anymore. I'm not going to be depressed anymore. And that's just not the reality. In fact, that would be taking away the powerful idea that we have agency, which we have, the idea to have our own will. It'd be very controlling and very fake, actually, to be happy all the time. You wouldn't be able to connect with anybody. No, we're actually still living life. We still, go through life. But the difference is do you have sort of a Velcro body, or do you have sort of a trampoline body for negativity? And most people that I work with, I believe we live in a very reactive world. Dr. Bradley Nelson agrees with that we have a yarn ball of trapped emotions within our body. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about in regards to the emotion code, please look at this other video. I'll put it down in the About section, called What is the Emotion Code and What is the Heart Wall? If you happen to see this video earlier, I'd watch those first, then come back here. Anyway, so we remove these energies from you, these trapped emotions. And if you think in your mind, okay, so now that I've removed these negative emotions, so I'm happy all the time, correct? And that is one of the biggest misconceptions. No, you will go through ups, you will go through downs, you will have sorrow, you will have depression, you will have anxiety. But the difference is how long do you hold on to this energy? What is the duration of it? And if it's improved, if you've really done the emotion code and you've done the body code too, you'll start noticing there's kind of a bounce effect with these energies the size of a tennis ball or cantaloupe. Instead of experiencing and holding on to it, it'll take off, and then you'll be able to be more productive in different areas of your life. So that's number 1, is you just want to make sure that you don't think it's a happy pill. It really is not. Number 2, it does not, and I repeat, does not cure cancer. Here's one of the things about interesting thing about cancer is that my mother actually used to be involved in immunotherapy, which is I think it's a very holistic approach using laser, like light, and like also the seashell formula. And it basically, here's what's interesting, is it wakes up the body to realize that it has a cancer in it. So that's kind of interesting, huh? Is that, what do you mean it wakes up the body to acknowledge that there's cancer in it? Well, here's what the problem is. Cancer is sort of like undetected by the immune system, and that's why it's slowly starting to tear away at the body, is because if it did know it was there, then it would be attacking it. But for whatever reason, the immune system does not see it. So it's even the subconscious, the immune system does not see it. So if I were to muscle test someone, which Dr. Bradley Nelson talks about in the body code, if I were to muscle test someone and say, hey, do you have cancer? The body's going to say no, even if you do have cancer. So never, if anyone has ever approached you and say, hey, you're a body code practitioner, let me know if I have cancer, that's very danger zone, because your body will not tell your body will not know, and it'll say, no, I don't have cancer. I don't, because I don't see it, but it's actually there. It doesn't detect it, but it is there. And so again, that's kind of a red flag. Never tell anybody, oh, you have cancer. No, you don't have cancer, because muscle testing is highly inaccurate in that area, because the subconscious technically does not see it. So now symptoms it does see. So symptoms of the cancer. So Dr. Barry Nelson talks about how if this lady comes into his office and says, hey, I have a bunch of problems, or I have this, doctors have told me that I have certain things, or they've diagnosed me with certain things, but you're the doctor, because he's a chiropractor. You're the doctor. You tell me what's wrong with me. Technically, he could do that. He could do that, because what he would do is he would ask another question. Don't tell me the label of it. Just tell me the symptoms that you're having. And he basically says that diseases are just a large clump of symptoms. So a disease is not just one symptom. It's multiple amounts of symptoms. And then below the disease is basically just an imbalance. So the symptoms... Disease actually means just a ton of symptoms, but below the symptoms are just imbalances. What do most people do in our society is they mask the symptoms. And so that's number 2, is we do not cure cancer. Now, if you came to me with cancer, thing like that, I would ask you, what are the imbalances you're having? What are the symptoms you're having? And then I would try to remove the imbalances to assist the immune system to recover and be stronger, to maybe battle cancer. But we can't say, oh yeah, sure, we're going to cure cancer. Let's do a couple sessions. We would never say that. Number 3, if there's emergency, okay, if there's an emergency, like you cut off your arm or you're bleeding profusely, do not call your emotion code practitioner. Do not call your body code practitioner. Call an ambulance, or if you need something that needs immediate surgery, you wouldn't call a body code practitioner. So there is usefulness for ambulances and hospitals for code red emergencies. That's back in the Civil War, you would, basically a cannonball hit your leg, you wouldn't want an emotion code practitioner. You would want someone to, if they need to, if they cut off your leg or whatever they need to do to repair it. And so that's when there's very strict emergencies, do not use an emotion code practitioner. But once maybe you have been taking care of the ambulance or the emergency surgery, can you use a body code practitioner or an emotion code practitioner to assist you to heal? Of course. So that's number 3. Number 4, some people think that as soon as we start working with people long distance, this is some type of like voodoo or satanic, or are you a medium, or things like that. And the reality is we have to understand kind of who started the emotion code. Dr. Bradley Nelson is a Christian himself, so he is not involved in Satanism or voodoo or medium. Now he is aware of voodoo things, and he's aware of mediums, and he does actually acknowledge that there is powers out there. But that's not how we do the emotion code. That's not how we do the body code. All we really do is we energetically connect with you from a distance. And I think I've heard it somewhere where it has to do with like a rope connected between you and I, very, very long distance. I mean, technically, we're all energy, right? We're all somewhat connected, because if I look on the ground, there's energy below me, and this ground technically connects with wherever you are. So it's not really, a far-fetched idea that technically we're all really connected. I mean, our energies are attached to each other in some way. And so all I'm doing is I'm basically moving my needs to the side, and then I'm connecting with you energetically. Let's picture kind of like a little rope, like 2 cans and a rope. And then anything that I do over here, muscle testing wise, I'm getting the answers on your body, not my own. And then I'm using a magnet on myself. And then basically whenever I use it on myself, my governing meridian, I'm actually assisting you over there, as if I was putting this on the base of your neck to the bottom of your spine. So that's number 4. There's no voodoo, there's no Satan, there's no mediaism. I'm a Christian myself. Dr. Bradley Nelson's a Christian. Doesn't mean you need to be a Christian to be in the emotion code. But the more you kind of look into the emotion code, especially the body code, you'll start realizing that there's a lot of godly things in it. For example, I was working with a baby recently, and it actually had a sort of early conception of a trapped emotion, which means that it was before he was born, like when he was with God. So somehow that came up in there. And again, it kind of, if you're kind of an atheist or someone that doesn't believe in God, little by little, the fact that the body code recognizes that there's these entities and past life before you came here, things like that, with God. So it's kind of slowly veers its way to that. It is kind of a godly practice. So that is number 4. Number 5, one session fits all. So the idea that one session is going to do it. Like, okay, if I remove some trapped emotions, I'm done. I'm good, right? And I think we're all a work in progress. I even have a body code practitioner work on me almost every other Sunday or every Sunday. And so we're all a work in progress. I probably collected a trapped emotion a few days ago. So that's just very important to know, is that we're always a work in progress. If you clear your heart wall, for example, look at the video below. In the about section, I'll put a heart wall video there. If you've cleared your heart wall, doesn't mean now like abundance, energy. I mean, of course, you're going to unlock a lot of things like more energy, clarity on mission, feeling love influence, abundance. But can you become more abundant? Of course. There's probably other trapped emotions holding you from abundance. What about health? Is there things that you can improve in your health? I mean, your immune system went up, but is there things that maybe you still need to work on with your health? Of course. So that's why it's good to stay close to emotion code or body code practice, because you can be very nitpicky and be like, I'm still having issues with this, or I'm still having relationship issues with this person. Or for some reason, I keep thinking about the past. You can go into the emotion code or even the body code, and it can assist you. Now, so those are the 5 misconceptions. It's a happy pill? It's really not. It just makes you help you have more control over emotions. Number 2, cure cancer? No, we don't say that. And we don't muscle test for curing cancer, or for cancer either. Number 3, it's not a replacement for emergency medical attention. Nope, it's not. Number 4, it is not working with the dark side, voodoo, Satanism, or a medium, because, in fact, many times he mentions Jesus in his book in the Emotion Code. Number 5, it's one session does not solidify, like, okay, I'm good to go. I'm ready to move forward. Okay, so those are 5 things. Now, 5 things that we are, though. Number 1, it is a very energetic, holistic approach. So if you've been through the ringer with doctors and things like that, it's okay. I mean, continue. For example, if you're seeing a psychologist right now, don't stop seeing your psychologist. Just start slowly working with an emotion code practitioner, and it'll only help you. It won't even hurt you. It won't distract you from psychology. But the reality is, and my thoughts about psychology is that I believe they have really great intentions, and I believe that they're very good at filtering the memories of your past. But at the end of the day, if you still have these energies inside of you that constantly remind you of certain things in your past or make you very reactive, it's very hard to break the habit, because the psychologist is not there with you at home when the habit shows up. So I feel like, that's why in marriage counseling, I've heard a ton of clients, they meet with marriage counselors and they talk about their problems, which is technically awakening the trapped emotions in their body. They go home, what are they doing? Fighting in the car. Like, oh, I told you this, and like, well, she said this, and blah, blah. It's like, the reason why is because it just basically opened up the can of worms inside their body, but they didn't remove the worms. They just left them there. And then they say, and they probably recognize the symptoms of the heart wall, which, she doesn't feel much, or she doesn't have a lot of energy, but the heart wall was still there and remained in there. So it's a very holistic, I think it's the most advanced system on the planet, the emotion code and the body code. That's number 1. So it is a very holistic approach. What it is, it's also, like I said, I believe it's a complete healing system. There's the body code 2.0. Why do I like the word 2.0 in here? This is why I love this number, is because it's still moving up there. Dr. Barry Nelson is still here, and it's continually adding more. I believe when they added the full skeletal system into the body code, I believe it became 2.0, and other different things to these what they call mind maps to help people with more deeper imbalances. So, I mean, this is a pretty thick manual. My father actually took it, so that's why it's gone. Number 3 is you can work long distance. So I love that. It's very convenient. You could be in China. You could be in Africa. You can be in Singapore. Wherever you are, you can benefit from the emotion codes. Number 3, it is a long distance energy healing if you want. Number 4, I believe it has a more permanent change to it, because you're releasing these energies into the stratosphere. Who knows where it goes? I know I had a client ask me, where do these energies go? In my mind, I'm kind of like, who cares? Because, hey, it's not, and I guess she was an empath, so I give her much love. She said, I don't want it to go end up in someone else. It was great. I goes to another universe and hits another planet. I mean, I understand where she's coming from. It was a very lovely gesture. But the main point is that it releases and it takes off. You don't want that energy in you anymore. And I feel like a lot of maybe energy practices do a lot of moving around, maybe massaging around or temporarily moving aside, but then slowly it comes back, and then the person comes back to the same healer and they're saying, I still have the same issue. I don't know what's going on, you know? And so that's what I feel is I've seen a lot more permanent change. I've seen more people come back in a year just for little tune-ups here, little tune-ups there, but not really for the same thing, just for different things. So that's what I love about the emotion code, more permanent change. And the fifth one is it's very expansive. Dr. Bradley Nelson is still alive. In fact, I went to his home 2 weeks ago, and he told me about future projects that are happening. So it's really, really nice to know that the founder, this isn't like Qigong or like, you know, the person who started Reiki healing, you know. What's beautiful is this is someone who's still alive, Dr. Bradley Nelson, you know, and that he's got the emotion code, he's got the body code. There's this relationship resonance program that's going to be launched, that's already launched. Then there's this wealth program that was launched. So what I'm trying to say is that there's still inspiration coming in, and he continues to pray to God and ask for more help, and there's more things coming. So I haven't even gone through the wealth program yet, and I'm excited about that. I haven't gone through the relationship resonance program. I'm excited about that. There's new information coming, and it's because we live in a world where I believe Satan has moved his queen in regards to big pharma and to, you know, just like bad medical practices. You know, he's moved the queen, but, you know, God's moving his queen, which is let's just use natural energy to be removed from the body, and also natural supplements if we need to recommend it in the body code, or if we have to recommend certain things to eat or certain supplements to take, you can do that in the body code using your own body and muscle testing it. So those are the 5 things that the emotion code is. It is a holistic energy, holistic approach. I believe it's a complete system. The energy, the emotion code combined with the body code. It is long distance healing. You could do long distance. Most people do long distance healing. Number 4, it does create permanent change. You know, so you're usually working on newer things, not always going back to the old things. And number 5, it is expansive. Dr. Bradley Nelson's still here. He's still adding new things to this work. And so it's in a very exciting time. We only have 3,400 practitioners. And he released the book, in 2009, I believe. And so there's so much work to be done. 3,400 practitioners in 60 countries. If you've ever thought about becoming an emotion code practitioner and realizing that no one knows about this and this is a very inspired work, then definitely email me below, codingalternative@gmail.com. Again, it's codingalternative@gmail.com. This is, when I make this video, 2 weeks ago, they just launched the Spanish certification. So si hablas español y quieres hacer certificado en el código de emoción, tú puedes hacer eso también. Y eso es una cosa muy grande que va a ser maravilloso para pasar a todos los países que están ahí. So I need to tell my Spanish friends, hey, the emotion code is now available in Spanish, the certification. And yeah, I'm excited. It's very, very exciting times. And so I just wanted to share with you, whoever's watching this, the 5 misconceptions. Let's throw those out. And then the five things that we are in regards to the emotion code. So this is Emmanuel. I always end my video like this. You know, the world has a false notion where I'll take care of you if you take care of me. But we all know here on this YouTube channel that if we take care of ourselves, then we can authentically take care of others. And as we take care of ourselves, then we can change our home, we can change our city, we can change our country, we can eventually change the world. So with that, love you guys. Take care. Look forward to continuing to do videos with you. And also we're still doing the commentary for the emotion code. If you're reading the emotion code right now, check out the page by page commentary that we're doing. And look forward to meeting you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.